This one is from r/entitled people. My brother's autism hides his manipulative behavior, and our mom's indulgence has turned him into an entitled, spoiled brat. I, 20F, have a younger brother, 17M, who was diagnosed with autism when he was around 2 years old. He is very social but socially naive, and can't read well or do basic math. While he is 17 physically, he is about 10 to 12 mentally. My mother, 50F, has spoiled him rotten since he was a child, and it's turned him into an entitled clown. My brother has our mother wrapped around his finger. Over the years, he has learned to manipulate her to get what he wants. He knows how to wear her down, nagging her until she gives him what she wants. For example, he'll ask her to buy him something and constantly berate her and whine about it until she gives in. He knows she won't put her foot down. She is completely unaware of his manipulation and swears up and down she is in full control. Everybody else is aware of his manipulation except her. One time I had some friends over from school, and they lamented to me that my brother acted completely differently around my family than he did other students. To everybody outside of our house, he's a likely guy who may ask a lot of questions, but has everybody's best interest in mind. At home, however, he speaks over everybody and has to be the center of conversation. If we are in the car and having a conversation outside of him, he will shout over us and interject with something completely off topic in order to center himself. My mom just lets it happen, since if she doesn't, he will just keep saying, "Mom, Mom, Mom," over and over. He's been manipulative since he was a child. He had a strict bedtime of 8 p.m., or so that's what it was supposed to be. Even in elementary school, he was figuring out ways to get what he wanted. My mom would call for him to come for dinner at 7:30, but he would procrastinate by playing video games and not come down until 8, his bedtime. My mom didn't want him to starve, which is valid, but instead of punishing him by taking away the video games, she just let him do it night after night after night with no preventative measures. Even though I was a child, I could see right through it. One time I was visiting from college and my mom wanted the three of us to go see a movie. My brother whined and whined about me going, saying he wanted it to just be him and our mother. To his dismay, I got a ticket. Then half an hour later, 2 hours before the movie, my brother starts yelling that his friend is coming with us. We had only bought 3 tickets, and there weren't any left in our seats. Instead of telling him no, my mother started to scramble to find a spot for my brother's friend to sit. I ended up having to put my foot down, saying that he made such a fuss about me coming instead of just the 2 of them, that he shouldn't be inviting anybody else. Thankfully, I was actually listened to this time. What I'm not listening to, however, is the dreaded topic of social media. My brother is very close to becoming a lolco. He thankfully hasn't gone viral yet, but he's obsessed with fame and posting whatever comes to mind on social media. This has gotten him in trouble at school for posting inappropriate content. My father has taken away his phone camera and his social media multiple times, as well as limited my brother's screen time. However, my brother will whine and throw a tantrum about it to my mom, which causes her to go to my dad and get him to change it. My dad changes it back, since if he doesn't, it will start a massive argument between him and my mother. She's where my brother gets his entitled personality from. I've tried telling him over and over that this is a horrible idea, even giving them examples of lolcos such as Chris Chen and Daniel Larson, people I know my brother has the potential to become like. Recently, he has developed epilepsy and started having seizures, which has given him another reason to be coddled by my mother. Obviously, I don't want him to have a stress-induced seizure, but he creates conflict anytime I'm around. Just last night at around midnight, he was blasting music down the hallway. This has been a problem for years now, but my parents think I'm overreacting about it. I knocked on his door and told him to turn it down. He said no, and that he was going to turn it up after I went back to bed. He did, so I went and got my father. There was a whole argument between them where my brother lied repeatedly, saying he hadn't heard me despite our conversation, and that he wasn't playing anything. Thankfully, my dad, who is aware of his manipulation, saw right through it. He got his phone taken away. But of course he didn't see himself in the wrong, because in his mind he can't be in the wrong. He yelled things to me such as, "Screw you. This is your fault, and I don't care about my sisters." Well, this morning I was lamenting to my mom about how frustrated I was. I'm only home for the week, and the least he could do was be decent. There's no reason I can't get a good night's sleep in my own home. My father overheard the conversation and came in, saying I needed to be less agitated when talking about my brother to my parents. I've been dealing with his BS for years, and I told my father that I was, in fact, agitated, and those were my true feelings. He went on a bit of a tangent about how my brother's epilepsy and his medication are making him agitated and irritable. I was shocked. My brother has always been a clown. My dad said he wasn't excusing it, but it definitely came across as it. Anyways, I'm mainly annoyed that there is now another reason for my brother to be coddled while my sister and I helplessly watch. One of my main issues with it is that I also have my fair share of mental problems that are mostly ignored because of him. I have anxiety, but mine comes in second to his. My mom will mention that yelling makes him anxious and that I shouldn't yell at him because of it. As if all the stuff he does doesn't stress me out. Every time I talk to him, I worry that I'm going to be insulted. He will pick you apart if you let him. He insults my mother on what she wears all the time, and he has started to comment on my weight, despite me being relatively skinny. He's overall a crappy person, and my parents are starting to realize that. Though I don't think my mom can truly come to terms with the fact that not only has she raised her son into an entitled clown, but also that he has been manipulating her basically ever since he was born. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and check out these videos for more great content. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you next time.